everybody, and welcome to Kame House Party, the world's bestest and only improv comedy Dragon Ball watch-along podcast in the known universe. And we are back to discuss another wonderful episode of Dragon Ball. I gotta let you know who's speaking, because I'm Vince.
And I'm Aaron.
We're the hosts of the podcast. We're going to take you through the wonderful world of Dragon Ball through the lens of this next episode. But before we do that, we've got a little bit of Kame housekeeping. If you're new, we just like to straighten up, get things in order before we dive into the conversation that is free flowing and will be a ton of fun. But the first Kame housekeeping that we have to do is the world famous UN sanctioned 1 minute roundup bouncing ball sound.
You kids, don't play your basketballs on my porch.
Old man Mr. Jenkins said balls. Hee hee.
Don't laugh at balls is a normal Christian word. It's not funny or referencing anything else.
Excuse me, old man Mr. Jenkins, are you yelling at my son about your Christian balls?
Why'd you have to walk in right at this moment? Mr. Conifer, your child has been bouncing his basketball upon my front porch for days, and I'm sick of it. He's knocking over my petunias, my begonias, my several wind chimes. Please tell your child to play on his own yard.
What a packed porch.
There's a lot.
Begonias. Many wind chimes.
Many. Each more chime than the last.
And this old man has the gall to complain about a ball bouncing.
And scene, by the way.
And scene, by the way. That is our improvised scene that we do at the top of every show. To loosen or tighten our improv muscles for whatever our discussion may lead us to as we get into the episode proper. When one of us laughs, this time it was me, at the fact that there were so many things on this porch. That is when we end the scene and we say, and scene, 10, the scene, blah, 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 blah. Now we can get into the 1 minute roundup proper, in which one of us, this time Aaron, has 1 minute 60 seconds to summarize everything that has happened in Dragon Ball up until this point. I'm talking Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. You're getting both condensed into a single 60-second soundbite. Why do we do this, you might ask? Because we don't want you to have to go back and watch every single episode of Dragon Ball or listen to every single episode of the podcast to get caught up to where we are, though many of you freaks do. And if you're new, get on the bandwagon.
Yeah, freak it up, baby.
Yeah, let your freak flag fly this July. As I ask Aaron the only crucial question that leads us to him actually doing the roundup. Aaron, are you ready to round up?
Yes, Vince. You know what? I am ready. Here we go. Dragon Ball is about 7 magic crystal balls. You collect them all. You get any wish you want. It starts Goku. He's our lead. He does karate. He had a monkey tail. He made a bunch of friends doing karate. He stopped a bunch of people from taking over the world using the Dragon Balls. He was so good at karate, he entered tournaments. It took him 3 times, but he finally won it. He saved the world by defeating a demon king. Then he got married, had a kid. When he's an adult, we learn that he's from space, and he fought his brothers and other people from his home planet who wanted to real estate our planet. But he died in the process, came back to life. Other friends died, so they go to another planet to get the Dragon Balls, to get new sets of Dragon Balls, to bring their friends back to life. They end up facing the most powerful dudes in the universe. He kills Frieza, becomes a legendary Super Saiyan. Once all that's done, they come back. Turns out shit's happening in the future. Trunks comes in, tells them androids are coming. They come. Everyone's fighting him. Piccolo becomes one with Kame and then has to fight a new android.
Oh boy.
What
Look, Yeah, you covered quite a bit of ground, give a lot of backstory to this Goku guy,
Hmm.
and managed to hit the key plot points of the Android saga. And if you, the listener, are like, "What? I didn't get all of that," then d- don't criticize, capitulate. Send in your own 1 minute roundup to kamehousepartypod@gmail.com. Take all the time you need, make all the edits that you want, and send it in to us because
I
we love getting those and they're a ton of fun.
I'm surprised no one's done a little cheat ski and done like a 2-minute one, speed that bad boy up to double speed.
Look,
How would we know?
you can keep that. Keep that in your
And
back
then,
pocket.
and
Send
then
it
you
on in.
pitch shift it so it doesn't sound like it's sped up.
Oh,
We'll
he's
never
giving you all.
know. We'll
Mr.
never
Policeman, he
know.
gave you all the clues. Those ads were so weird. Walking through the subway.
Just a
The
snowman.
only posters was a snowman and this scribbled scrawl.
What did he
But we're
have?
not talking about the snowman, Aaron. We're talking about Dragon Ball. And we have one final piece of Kame housekeeping where I tell you, the listener, that Aaron and I watched 2 different versions of the show. I watched the English dubbed, and Aaron watches the Japanese language English subtitled version because comparing and contrasting is fun. And you know what? Debate me if you feel otherwise. We'll see how it goes for you. How about that? And I swear, if you bring up Hitler,
You did a little bit of debate, correct?
I did. It was like kind of built into like some of our history classes was like some debate things.
And Hitler was brought up on multiple occasions, is what you're telling me?
I think that's like the running joke with any debate is like, doesn't it always come back to, well, if this person believes this, would you go back in time and kill Hitler if you could? That's what I imagine high school debates are if you're in debate club. But no, I think I tried to improv my way through one of those to like medium response. And my teacher like pulled me aside after, was like, hey, people like you, but that's not enough to win a debate.
Are you sure?
I was like, I don't know. I got 50, like I got 49% of the vote. I feel like I did all right.
That's not bad. That's in any other thing. That's pretty good.
Yeah. But how about you? Did you get to debating? Were you a master debater?
Not in that sense. I did do Model UN 1 year, I think in middle school. But it was part of a class. And it was just, I guess here's a trip. I don't remember anything about it. I did nothing.
It's always here's a trip to the UN, right? That's how they have to lead you in.
It wasn't even to the UN. I think we just went to maybe the Capitol. I don't know where we went. I'm pretty sure it was just in some high school auditorium where we had to sit and like listen to kids who prepared things do fake shit.
So, okay. So your Model UN was, okay. Interesting. That's wild. Because I would assume, because I did like, again, a little bit of Model UN as part of this class. We ended up going to the UN.
Well, you're close.
Yeah, we're pretty close. Delaware's not too far. Nice long bus ride with my iPod with video, watching old Chappelle skits and stand-ups that I scraped my money together to pay Apple $6 so I could hold the rights to the Time Haters sketch, my favorite sketch. But
were you sharing earbuds though? Final question.
Was I sharing earbuds? Yeah, I was. With the OG homie, John Chappell, out there in La La Land. I don't know where he is. I hope he's doing all right. But he was my boy back in the day. Just like comparing and contrasting is my boy right now, because I gotta start with the first difference in our episodes is usually the title. So here comes the English title for this week's episode. Episode 143 of Dragon Ball Z. His name is Cell. That's it. That's all I got.
Vince, all 4 of those words are in my title.
Oh, ooh, you can't see it if you're listening to this. If you're watching the YouTube, I'll get really excited.
If it was one of those Invincible memes and you blacked out certain words, we would have a Yahtzee.
Okay. There's a caveat to it, but I like that we got a match.
So it's they're very close. So the title for my episode, in the original Japanese, roughly translated for episode 142 of Dragon Ball Z, is a life form of evil and destruction. His name is Artificial Human Cell.
Oh my gosh. I love how they gild the lily on these. The
evil
artificial human. Evil.
And destruction.
And destruction. Can't forget the destruction.
Implying destruction is not inherently evil.
This is true. This is true. As future events of Dragon Ball will attest to, because we watched the movie Resurrection F. But
we did.
We're not there yet. We are here now. So let's get to it. Let's start talking about this week's episode.
Let's do it up.
I guess let's just say his name. His name is Cell. That's his name. There's a reveal in this episode, but the title already did that for us. So Cell is readying his Kamehameha wave to the disbelief of Piccolo. Again, this is pretty cool. Piccolo is able to dodge after the explosion hits, but he is trapped in Cell's grasp, who begins sucking his energy, starts siphoning it out of his arm. I think it's important to note that Piccolo managed to move just a bit to get it so that the tail pierced the arm and not a more vital part of his body.
Which Cell talks about, like, this doesn't matter. It's fine. Do you know how energy works?
Struggle as you might, Piccolo. It matters not. Soon your energy will be mine. I think that feels pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's a good imperfect Cell is what we're calling him in this form.
I believe this is the form.
Lanky ass Cell. Big feet.
Looks like Vince, sophomore year of high school. That's also how my voice sounded before it dropped.
Raspy.
Let me see. What is that? 2004. Yo. Everybody catch this week's episode of Lost. I think Vincent the dog is my favorite character, followed by the smoke monster, and, of course, Mr. Echo.
Can't wait for the final Lord of the Rings movie. Gonna marathon those bad boys before it comes out.
It's only season 6 of The Bachelor, and everybody's still into it.
Those last 2 Matrix movies really sucked. This is all of my 2004 knowledge.
Oh my gosh, Gary got a Game Boy SP Micro.
Can't wait for the DS to come out this Christmas, I think.
After school, let's go to GameStop and just hang around.
Oh no, flashbacks.
No, that got too real.
No, don't leave your children here, please.
Please, take them with you.
I didn't care. Honestly, people were pretty cool at the one I was at. Vince, I was on my mission for most of 2004, so a lot of my pop culture knowledge of that time is just a big blank.
Look, you didn't miss much.
It seems that way.
Between 2004 and 2009, nobody was really trying to do anything new.
Kind of garbage. Don't worry about it so much.
I think Sam Raimi was the only one trying. And he made a couple of bad Spider-Man movies out of it.
One not as good Spider-Man
movie. Not as good Spider-Man movie. It's fair. Okay, look. I put my hands up. It's just that. Look,
I don't like how this looks.
It's just the fact that I think the Spider-Verse movies have like, a rising tide lifts all boats. So like the things that just aren't as great, they just seem to have fallen farther and farther away from what I consider a great Spider-Man movie. But that's fine. I think we can put our hands down slowly now and get back to the episode.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. I will say that in this form, I think Goku would have made short work of Cell because the guy's afraid of needles. He wouldn't get stuck once, so he would be dodging like a madman. He'd never get hit.
Aaron, I think you just unlocked the prototype of autonomous ultra instinct, because it's his instinct to avoid those needles.
He imagines everyone as a needle and in their underwear, so he doesn't get nervous.
Phew! I almost died. Good thing I thought you were a needle.
Who, me? Hit? Am I a guy?
It's too far in the future. Too far in the future.
The gray alien buff guy. I forget his name.
Jiren. He's also too far in the future. But on your way of thinking, Vegeta would also never get caught because Vegeta hates bugs.
That's true. How did he fight Cell in the first place? I mean, we're going to find out, but...
Yeah, we'll have to find out. We'll have to keep watching.
Please you better get in your perfect form so I'm not grossed out.
Oh, what's wrong, Vegeta? Not enough that we share cells?
It's gross. The only cells share with me are my lovely wife.
Ew.
/ girl. No, we're not married. My lovely common law wife. My loser son Trunks, who I'm secretly proud of. Maybe a daughter. We'll see. Up in the air.
From where I come from, none of that exists. But you could touch my carapace.
No, I'm getting the ick.
Oh, come on, Vegeta.
No, you're too what's the word? Where you're kind of rainbow colored when your wings show up. Iridescent. I hate it.
Oh, you're making me black.
Where are your bones?
On the outside.
No. I killed a whole bug planet for this very reason.
Dr. Giroux's computer told me.
Hold on, let me try. I gotta throw a punch if I'm gonna survive this fight. Here we go. Slowly. Putting a lot of force into it. Ding.
Let's see.
I touched your outside bones.
That kind of hurt, but you pulled back.
As soon as one of my cells touched your cells, I was too grossed out. I'm gonna hide behind this rock. Green Man, you got this.
Sure. I'm pretty strong now anyway. Let me take a stab at this.
At least you're a plant. That makes sense to me.
Hey, watch your mouth.
I can't call you a plant?
Look, that's our word.
Wait, should I be calling you Green Man? What's going on?
Green Man works. Plant,
okay.
Disrespectful.
Fair.
You won't catch me in no pot.
I heard this cell guy fucking loves being in pots.
Are you guys talking about me?
Yeah, pods suck. Let's establish this baseline.
Agree.
Wait a minute. I'm constantly in a pod. Shit.
See, we are more alike than you.
No.
He's got you there, Vegeta.
A self roast.
A cell roast. Head seat.
We're skipping too far ahead.
I know we're jumping all over the place. We skipped over the little exposition of Krillin and Trunks basically lining up. Oh, it's the creature that's making us feel all these different feelings of everybody else's ki.
Mm-hmm.
Back at Roshi's, Chi-Chi and Gohan tending to Goku. He seems to be doing a lot better. Chi-Chi's like he's getting stronger every day. We then see Goku
Every
stretch.
day?
That's what she says in mine. He's like,
It's been like
stronger
2
every day."
hours. From Goku getting sick
Right.
to now, how long do you think it's been? I haven't seen Night once.
Yeah, I guess you're right. No, it has to, because he's traveled all over the place at this point. I'm going to guess it's been like 2 days. The
I
first
will
day,
accept that.
the first day was when Giro Android 19 showed up.
Mm-hmm.
That was like I'm assuming that's like early in the morning. Then 17 and 18, 16, the next like 4 hours because they had to find them.
Mm-hmm. In the north, so they didn't
the
change
north.
time zones necessarily.
Didn't change time zones. That's right. But the minute they moved Goku to Roshi's, I'm assuming they're in a different time zone. Maybe they made up some time. Let's assume Roshi's is east.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gingertown is south of West City.
Mm-hmm. All the way in the
Yeah.
west.
All the way in the
But
west.
they would just fly east to get there.
Right.
They're not going to go back around.
So they're not losing any time. Yeah, 2 days.
I accept this.
All
But
right, we can move
I've
on.
not seen a moon once. Enemies have
Right.
not respawned.
This is true.
There's no
Goku, the blood moon rises once again. Yeah,
I
nobody
know
talks about
some
what
things.
happens when the Ozaru see a blood moon. That'd be rad.
I don't know.
We don't do research, so we'll
We'll
never know.
We'll never know. But we do watch the news, much like the residents and visitors of Kame House. Gohan goes downstairs just to tell everyone that Goku's doing well. They're like, "Shut up! The news is on. It's 4 p.m. I need to watch this." So the news and basically Metro West is sending in their armed forces in. And they're like, "Oh, we have a video feed." We go back to the main battle. Piccolo, he's getting the suck. His left arm is starting to shrink. He's starting to lose those gains he got from Kami.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The tanks appear. They begin to fire on Cell. And so he lasers them. Then they fire at, like, it's the dumbest amount of artillery they shoot at Cell from these tanks. It's just one after another. It's so
Mhm.
much.
It's almost like they were padding this scene to make up some time or something. But yeah,
As
it's missiles, it's tank fire, creating giant cloud of smoke. Surprise, surprise. Cell dodged them all while holding Piccolo. They fire a second barrage of missiles. And this was where I was like, whose power is this? Because
Mhm.
Cell waves his hand, stopping the thrust of the missiles that come crashing down on the tanks. And that's the end of the tanks. But whose power is that? Like, what power is that? Is that just like a key blast that sucked the oxygen out of that area? I don't know. It's a cool power.
It could be a Goldo.
Mm.
Although if it was, but he, as we find out, he didn't necessarily grab that.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I think it feels like a Chiaotzu move.
Mm. Yeah. I think that could be. That's like a crane hermit technique that is passed down through genetics.
He's the most weird baby man from Akira. Like, so I feel like that's in his wheelhouse.
I'll take it. I like that.
We do see that the suck continues. Kami.
Hold on.
Okay. Go
when the
ahead.
tanks and missiles stop, but the cell keeps sucking.
Oh, an oldie but a goodie.
Never gets old. Never gets old. The internet remains undefeated.
So much. I mean, like, we got maybe I'll do a minute of Photoshop and take this still frame because we see Piccolo and then a ghostly image of Kame both screaming out in pain as they're getting sucked, and then we'll just put that under the title, like, but Cell keeps sucking.
Yes, I love it. I also love that Popo senses Kami's anguish and sits up, takes a break from his gardening duties.
Mhm.
Oh, Kame. I want Popo to throw hands. I want to see Popo
just
down
needs
on
to come
Earth
to find-
fucking shit up.
He's tired of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
He could. That's how much to commission a minute-long animation of Mr. Popo wrecking everyone.
Look, if you've got this technical know-how, hit us up at
And the elbow grease.
comehousepartypod@gmail.com for our custom Popo fight animation.
You name a price.
Mhm.
What song? Wait, what song is this to? What track?
Ooh. Oh, I got to do some thinking. What if it's that? Is that KRS-One? It's like an interstitial. It's just somebody going, I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black because I'm black, y'all. I'm black, meaning black to black to black, black. I'm black, meaning black to black to
Yes. There you go.
I think that'd
One
be
and done,
fucking
baby.
rad.
That's it.
black. All right. There's our brief. Reddit, do your thing.
Who can make it happen? Much like Piccolo breaking free, making it happen where he escapes. They both get on the ground. And then we have like the full reveal of Piccolo and his gross little wilted arm.
Yeah.
The celery in the fridge for a week arm.
Yeah, I was gonna say that celery that turned brown, or that green bean that wilted. And you're
Forgot
still
about that
thinking shit.
zucchini.
Oh yeah, the zucchini. You name a vegetable, Piccolo's arm is it.
You name a vegetable, I've left it in the fridge too long and then threw it out.
Oh, that's what adulting is, folks. Periodically cleaning out your fridge.
Adopting vegetables as just set pieces.
Yeah, I'll buy a bushel of bananas just so I could watch them turn brown.
Yeah, just to lord my power over them. I could eat you, thus completing the cycle of life. But no. It's going to be what's the very famous burger place in New York?
Shake Shack?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh's getting
Shake
one.
Shack again. Pittsburgh's getting a Shake Shack?
We're getting a Shake Shack. You know, we're moving on up. You know, those real estate values are going way up if we're getting a Shake Shack, baby.
Now I finally have a reason to visit, and I have a reason to drag us into a commercial.
Hey, Riley,
Yeah, Andrew.
do you want to make a podcast ad?
I do, but what would we mention?
So I think that we could probably put together an ad for a show called The Podcast Minds. There, but for the grace of pod, go we. You know, it's a podcast where we both pitch each other podcast ideas instead of doing one ourselves.
Yeah, it's a podcast pilot pitching project. Totally. We should mention that it's a comedy show, right? Where we throw out ideas like getting weirdly deep into the themes of Jumanji.
Is that one a podcast?
No. It's a podcast idea that is actually a front for me to talk to you about hyperfixations I got.
Oh, that's most of the things that you hit me with. What about instead if we just talked about all the different ways you could do a rewatch of Lost?
Now that sounds like you just did what I did, but you said it in a positive voice.
Okay, and along the way, what if we pitched ideas like, I don't know, epic rap battles of mystery, the Lin-Manuel Miranda podcast?
Listen to the Podcast Minds. There, but for the grace of pod, go we on your podcatcher of choice on the Moonshot Network. Hi ho!
Hi ho! Every Friday.
And we're back, picking up at the Android road trip that never ends. 16's eyes get a notification. His eyes light up. He gives 17 and 18 an update. Says the strength or the source of the power that is as strong as 17 is actually like losing power, which prompts 17 to say this. See, your sensors need recalibrating. No one is as strong as me. So 17 is really, really self-conscious about his power level, we're learning.
I know, just like, why? Why 17?
But why? And he'd probably, I was programmed this way by Dr. Giraud. He didn't do everything right, but he did that, making me the strongest fighter in the universe.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were programmed to be in denial and never admit that you're wrong or that someone might be stronger than you.
Does not compute.
Is that like
Whatever
a blank
you just
space in your
said.
code?
Whatever you just said does not exist in my databases. Folder
What did you-
not found. Error
What did you-
404.
What did you hear when I said that? Was it just static?
I will mimic it thusly.
Okay.
Kill Goku. Have fun.
I don't think I said kill Goku.
Sorry, what was that?
Saying having fun does sound like me, though. Have fun with it.
That's what I get. You have a very fun vibe.
Thank you, actually.
Maybe
I keep
once
telling
I'm done,
people that.
Maybe once I'm done killing Goku, you and I can go hang out, do some clothes shopping.
I mean, that sounds more like your sister's thing.
She can come too.
Okay. Oh, okay. Now I'm very interested.
Ha ha, I tricked you.
No.
This was a thirst trap.
Is this why you kept holding up a picture of your sister the whole time?
Let's just say it's part of my programming.
Wait. Is your first name actually Al? Your middle initial G? And last name Rhythm?
You got me.
You're Don Cheadle?
That's right, I'm Don Cheadle. I've been moving through the WV multiverse. All I want to do is stop LeBron James.
For some reason. Stop him or make him become a part of your verse?
Well, I wanted him to become part of my verse, but now I just want to stop him and his family of basketball royalty. I hacked his high school's computers so they could only watch Space Jam 2 to erode his confidence.
The one black spot on his otherwise perfect record.
Once I stop LeBron, Goku's next.
You'll absorb him into the WV verse.
That's right. I want him in multiverses.
Yep, I guess that game's still around.
I keep updating it monthly. And scene. I just want to talk about the implications of Don Cheadle's character having to make changes to WB's multiverses game, which is currently on hiatus. Like it's shut down for a bit while they make changes to the game.
I'm just like, oh, that was fun for like a few weeks.
You,
like,
me, the rest of the internet. But,
and then the grind was untenable.
Yeah, the grind was
like
impossible.
It was like this. I can't.
I think I unlocked one new character during that hot and heavy 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was that Velma thing where she called the cops on LeBron James.
Yeah.
Velma out here reporting false crimes that they had to update. Like, it is a fine game. It's a decent fighting game, but not as good as what we're going to talk about in the rest of this episode, which is a very long and detailed exposition dump.
A distraction, you might call it.
Yeah. Like big brain thinking from Piccolo, and I guess imperfect thinking from imperfect Cell. Because Piccolo, wounded, weary, appearing, wink, kind of it agrees with Cell's assessment. He's like, you can't defeat me now looking at you like this. So why don't you just succumb to the inevitable and become part of something greater than yourself? Something that will become perfect. Piccolo takes the opportunity to just be like, I'll submit. Just tell me who you are and why you're here. And then here comes the exposition.
I'd love to hear a pitch first before I sign on.
Okay, so here goes. I want 100% of you to be part of for 25% stake in my perfect form. It already grosses 1 billion cells from other creatures in the universe.
So I'm getting paid in cells.
It shares, cell shares.
Cell shares. So like
you get first pick of the mitochondria.
The organelles.
Excuse me.
Wait,
this imperfect form.
Wait, do you just want to absorb me because you don't have any cell walls?
I only have a phospholipid bilayer. Things pass through it too easily.
I'm sure the chlorophyll would also be an advantage.
Absorbing light from the sun and turning it into simple sugars would be wonderful.
I just feel like I'm bringing a lot to this merger and not getting a lot in return.
So do you have a counter offer?
I would say that if you tell me your backstory in full, throw in any weaknesses you got, and then I think the offer is definitely more appealing. But I need to hear some backstory real quick though.
All right, fine. Since you and the other sharks are dead anyway, what's the harm? Sorry, Mr. Wonderful, Damon, Lori, and Mark.
At some point, I should probably watch some kind of clip of Shark Tank so I can have a little more knowledge. Because it seems we do a Shark Tank thing every episode.
You can blame the voice actor for that. and see. So let's do our best to get through everything we know about Cell that gets dumped on us in
yes.
latter half. Let's start with what he's made up of.
Cells.
Cell is made up of cells from all the greatest fighters you know. Nappa, when he visited Earth with Vegeta, Gohan, the small but powerful child, Piccolo himself for his strength and determination and force of will, Vegeta, because why not?
He's naming reasons why he picked these warriors.
Like for some of them, he's like the warrior Nappa, the Saiyan warrior Nappa, the small but powerful child Gohan, Piccolo for your strength and determination. Like, so there is like some thought that goes into the Cell makeup.
I would say that seems like that's a little shade on Piccolo, which some plants do need, but not him. Because like he doesn't justify anyone else. He's like Piccolo. Well, I chose Piccolo because of his will. I think it's a good choice.
Still squirming in his chair.
Don't give me that look.
Why am I being audited?
Like he technically ruled the whole world for a short time. I'd be lucky to have him as a part of my biological makeup.
Wasn't he God or something?
Yeah.
Why is everybody looking at me? So I picked him third. He was still on the board.
He makes the cut. Just not first round, okay?
Oh, I want to dive into the NBA, the NBA draft that just happened, but we don't have time for that because he also lists Vegeta, Goku, and Frieza during Frieza's brief time on Earth as like the core pieces of the makeup of what is Cell. Go ahead.
In mine, he did not pick Trunks. He's like, I could have gotten Trunks, but we had enough Saiyan DNA, Saiyan cells.
Mm-hmm.
What's another one?
Who needs it?
It's like, I'll never use a sword.
Ugh, so passe.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in vogue. Tails
I
are
don't-
in.
I could
Swords
never.
are out.
Also, I could never pull off that look.
Me in a mini half jacket.
Mm-hmm. I can't show any mid drift. I got to show the whole drift, baby.
Who needs clothes when you've got shells like these? But Cell was created by Dr. Giro with the help of his supercomputer that exists in a bunker underneath the lab that he developed 16, 17, and 18 in.
It was the funniest thing to me when Piccolo's like, how could that be? We destroyed his lab. And he's like, it was underneath it. Ha ha, got him. Like
You never looked under your feet.
like just like 6-year-old, like, it was
Yeah.
underneath.
And Piccolo even says, he's like, well, we could go back there and destroy it. He's like, like Cell basically is just like, no, you won't. Can't do it. You won't find it. You can't do it. It's already too late or something
Yeah,
like
why
that.
don't they?
Right. If they know where it is. And the important part is like the computer continued Dr. Giro's work. And that was always the plan. It was always going to take longer than Dr. Giro could live through to see his final product born anew. So, yeah, why didn't they go back and destroy the baby Cell?
According to mine, he wasn't going to be ready for 24 more years.
Exactly.
They had plenty of time. They could have done it on year 23.
Mm-hmm. They could have waited to the absolute
They could have
last moment.
kicked that can so far down the road. This is a low priority task.
Goku could have gotten 3 heart attacks in that time.
24 more years of Joey Chestnut eating hot dogs,
Oh my god!
being the best at it.
Can we get a hot dog eating anime, like a 3-episode arc for Joey Chestnut? Just, I want the man to retire, not dead from hot dog consumption.
I mean, it's only once a year.
No, but he does eating competitions year round.
That's
He
true.
can't live off that Nathan's. He just can't. He can't live off that one-time payment.
You can't. There's just truly an athlete pushing the human body to its limits.
He's the hot dog, or he's the eating Hokage, which makes Kobayashi the Sasuke, the shadow Hokage of competitive eating.
I miss Kobayashi.
We all do. We all do. They did the man dirty. They really did. Look, if you're wondering what we're talking about, I think there's a documentary about Kobayashi. Maybe it's called The Tsunami.
Oh,
That was his nickname.
What specifically happened to him?
I
Oh
think
no,
it
he got
was-
injured, right?
So he got hurt or something,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was like, because he was the biggest name before Joey Chestnut came on the scene. And something happened with his representation where Nathan's Hot Dogs weren't going to pay him a certain amount, or they disqualified him from one competition and they wouldn't let him compete. Because I remember this happening in like 2014 or something. He staged like a mini protest at the hot dog eating contest and like got up on stage with a sign or something. And since then, he's kind of been ostracized from that competition and some American competitive eating competitions. So they boxed him out in favor of the new hotness, the American phenom, the bottomless stomach himself, Joey Chestnut. It's hard. It's hard. Sure, there's 30 for 30 on the Tsunami. Now I want to watch it.
Sure we can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, this is not research. Don't send us more about Joey Chestnuts.
This is we want no
Or
research on
Kobayashi.
the hot dog man.
No. Now the women's competition, it was neck and neck this year.
Yeah.
It was like
Is that
30.
was it that same woman, the Black Widow, or what's her name? She won the Philadelphia Wing Bowl a few years ago, something like that.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Like-
It was the person who won was apparently has been the winner of the hot dog eating contest for years. Lost it last year, but came back.
Like a Creed 3.
Yes. Okay. There are bugs. There are robot bugs.
Right.
They record everything. They collect info. They also collect cells. Piccolo finally sees one. And then he destroys it. And
Blast
Cell's
guy.
it's too late. It's already happening. Again, don't go to the secret lab.
Yeah, Cell really pushing there's nothing you can do, I swear. The power button is not on the console of the computer.
There's if you open the door, there's like a laser that can kill anything. So don't try, and you can't disable it.
You're not high enough level for this encounter. Trust me.
Yeah, it's even you can't even glitch through the wall. Don't try that either.
Everyone from Games Done Quick is dead.
There's no one to train you. And then I think next part is like, why did he come here to the past? And the reason is because he wants to be perfect, which unattainable. Go to therapy.
Cells will travel decades back in time, searching for their perfect throuple instead of just going to therapy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it does involve 17 and 18. He's got to suck them up to be perfect, which is sure doesn't. Why? Okay, just cook longer. I don't know.
Yeah, that is kind of where some of this starts to kind of loses me a little bit, right? Because Cell's already like, no, I'm perfect. I'm the strongest in my timeline. There's no one that could touch me, so I came back to get more power. He said like that, yeah, he could suck up all the people on Earth. It still wouldn't be enough to make him perfect. So that's why he needs 17 and 18. It's also part of his programming. Everybody's got all this programming in their heads.
Everyone's got programming, Vince.
Mm-hmm.
You, me.
That's right.
Our listeners, they're programmed. We program them to tune in every week.
Yeah, we're a big psyop. Everything's a psyop in capitalism.
We're distracting you from the real issues. We're distracting you from watching Naruto, the thing you actually should be doing.
Now, and the truth finally reveals itself. Also, Cell reveals that he's like, it's my programming. It's also probably the Frieza and Vegeta cells making me power hungry. My two daddies.
Every cell's a dad. But then, like, again, none of that in my version.
Okay.
But it is interesting. We're like, well, what about like all the good guys cell you sucked up?
Yeah. Wouldn't Goku's, cells make you want to train harder to be the best? Along with Gohan's sensitivity would make you not want to kill everything. The computer, I guess, has some influence on what amount of personality got laddered into what Cell is now. I think is kind of his justification for it. Again, this is like a 5-minute sequence of exposition.
The second half of the show. It's like the
entire
whole
second half of the episode.
It gets iffy. I'm gonna try and turn off the brain a little bit.
Right.
Because the thing that blew me away that I forgot about is that, so when he came out of his cave, out of the lab, that can't be destroyed, he was like 17 and 18 weren't around, so I had to go back in time. But thankfully, Trunks was right outside the door. Then I killed his ass, came back in time. In Piccolo's mind, well, so like the button on that is that Piccolo was like, I guess Trunks was trying to come back and tell us that he defeated the androids. I'm like, how did you get that from that?
Yeah, why would Trunks do like what was Trunks's plan? He had no reason to come back if his world was devoid of the androids. He like everything we know about how the timeline gets fudged with. That anyway.
But future Trunks is dead, which is horrible.
Right.
Yeah, but then,
we actually got to see that sequence, and that was pretty brutal.
And then, because the logic was that, like, to fit in the time machine, I have to become an egg again, right? He can fit in that fucking time machine. Crouch down.
If I can fit in a coach class of a modern airliner, Cell can fit in that goddamn time pod.
How long is that trip? 2 minutes? If that, in perceived time?
Crunch those knees up, homie. You can get through it.
I know those feet are big, but just put them on the dash.
You're not sharing it with anybody. And yeah, this is also like a little bit of a kicker. Again, some leaps are made because Cell didn't actually program the time machine. I just pushed the button. Trunks had already put in the coordinates for 4 years ago. X date.
Why was he coming back to 4 years ago then?
I don't know.
Because
Cell gets back to Earth. Gets back to the present time, but 4 years before, burrowed into the ground, saving up his strength so he could evolve to the imperfect form again. That's why he was.
Oh, in mine, he's just like, it just takes that long. It's like
Americans need these logical leaps.
It's like, it took me. That's my gestation cycle. Why do you poop and pee all day?
Pickle's
you don't question it.
Pickle's like, I don't.
Oh, really? Ooh, then I definitely want those. I know I have your cells already, but need to double up on that. I've been pooping and peeing all day. I hate it.
It's gross.
I had to, after I supped with that big rich guy, I've been holding it in since then. I want this fight to be over.
Rich big guy goes through you real quick. They don't tell you about that. Computer didn't tell me about that.
Greasy. Spiritually greasy. Not a lot of fiber. There, just when we all go and eat the rich, everyone keep in mind that there should be a nice toilet nearby.
Yeah, when we eat the rich, we can use their gold encrusted toilet.
Well, there you go. No, perfect.
There you go.
It solved itself.
Can't wait to eat the rich.
I like my rich. I mean, they're fatty enough, so grilled, I think, would be good.
Yeah. I want mine beer battered and fried.
Oh, just indulgent.
I want a rich in chips.
Wrapped in $100 bills instead of newspaper.
Instead of newspaper, it's $100 bills. Instead of mushy peas, it's Sacagawea dollars.
You're just chomping in the corner, breaking your teeth.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm as happy as I've ever been. I'm shouting, "This is my final form."
I mean, and then Piccolo seems happy as he's ever been because, like, you dumb son of a bitch. Thanks for revealing all your mysteries. He rips his old arm off, grows a new one. He's just been stalling this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the wisdom of Kame.
That's right. That's right. Take a few lumps to get all the info you need.
Now he's ready to fight again. And we're ready to end this episode because that's it.
That's it. That's all there is.
Round 2.
Whew, I can't
Coming
wait.
up.
And I can't wait to talk about some emails because we got some emails.
Yeah. Do you want to take one of them?
Yeah, let me start with the KSP research we got
Okay.
entitled "Aw shit, here we go again." Parenthetical time travel. From Master Researcher Nick, who writes in, "Hey Vincent, Aaron, I'm sure you guys picked up on the complications of Cell's backstory in this episode. Time travel making things more complicated? Question mark. Perish the thought. If not, allow me to put on my actually glasses and break this down." So I'm going to do my actually glasses and break it down.
I do have a request. This is not what Master Researcher Nick sounds like in real life, but this is a for me thing. Can you do it in a Doughboys fan's voice?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Perfect.
My wife told me I should write this in. So here it goes. So Cell says that Trunks' data was picked up because they already got Saiyan data, huh? Well, one, you don't have data on Super Saiyan Cell, so your past self would probably want that. Second, how does future Cell know that Trunks beating Frieza? Know about Trunks beating Frieza? Question mark. As I mentioned before, the future Cells come from Timeline A, which is one of the timelines where Goku defeated Frieza on Earth. Does future Cell share a natural network with Timeline D? The canon we're watching. That's the canon that we're watching is Timeline D. Cell and spy bots like Nebula in Avengers Endgame? Question mark. I told you that I'm a Doughboys fan and that I can't read.
Wonderful. Thank you. This is I don't know if the listener appreciated that, but I did, and that's what matters.
All right. Good.
That's what counts.
So did you pick up on all that?
So part of it
I think Nick is
like,
asking all the right questions here.
Yeah. How does this Cell know about if
Super
this
Saiyan
Cell
tree,
is from like one of the other previous timelines? How does he know about this current timeline's nonsense? That's a great question. Look, I'm gonna again to quote the Simpsons, as Nick did, referenced in their email. A wizard did it. I don't know, like.
Yeah,
Toriyama
just said, "Make
I can't
it
do
so."
this anymore.
Yeah,
so he knows things.
Mm-hmm. Because that makes perfect sense. As we learned, like Nick's last email, maybe a month ago, outlining which timelines we're in. If timeline A, Trunks defeats the androids after becoming a Super Saiyan, Cell would never know about the Super Saiyan transformation. He wouldn't he would know about Goku, but only the events on Earth. Frieza now I'm losing it because I thought I understood.
That's fine. We can step away from it.
No. I want to wrestle with it.
Okay.
I want to wrestle with it for another like 30 seconds. Because if he's got Vegeta cells, he's got Nappa cells, he's got Goku cells from that first fight. None of them had Super Saiyan transformation then. If Frieza came back to Earth
and that's
and
how
Goku defeated Frieza, I guess he could still get the Frieza cells.
Mm-hmm.
But would they get another dose of Goku's Super Saiyan cells? Would they need that?
Super Saiyan is Super Saiyan-ness was in him the whole time.
Right.
So maybe I don't think you genetically change. Do you genetically change at a cellular level when you become Super Saiyan? Because I guess
Your eye
that'd be the
color
question.
changes. So I guess that has to be. Right? If your hair and
I
eye
guess-
color change, that's a genetic trait.
That is a
change.
genetic change.
Yeah.
So maybe there's, yeah. So yeah, he just, they still, okay, maybe the answer's they're like, we're not going to animate this weird alternate past
Right.
where Goku beats Robo Frieza on Earth. We're just going to use the footage we got.
Yeah. which makes sense if you have to cut those kind of corners. But and now I'm thinking, like, did Cell from timeline A that we're watching now encroach on timeline D, the current timeline?
Mhm.
Did that Cell bring back footage to feed to the robot or to the computer with the timeline A little bug robots? Is that how he got the new information?
Maybe he might have maybe that's it. He went back and visited the lab and what you got for me? Anything new?
Yeah.
I don't
I just don't know.
look.
Yeah.
It's we can't give this.
No, yeah. I put us in this whirlpool. Aaron, please put the stick in to pull me out.
All right. Well, I think some fun fan art will pull us out. So, Milo, thank you, Nick, for the research.
Yes,
and
thank you,
for
Nick.
The near aneurysm you caused in both of us. It was borderline.
We'll send you our medical bills.
But Milo wrote into us again. They have some more fan art. So they write, you mentioned a fun prop for fan art, so I had to draw it up. So here's a bunch of Krillins trying to preserve a canon event. I will definitely send in more art as I listen in. The random tangents you guys go on really make the show something special. Thank you. So here is that fan art for the video audience.
It's so good. It's so good. They're all Krillins.
Okay, we got, so it's Krillin Prime
Right.
buying a pack of Trojans. And then, hold on, there's a Namekian Krillin,
Right.
a red ribbon Krillin that looks
Yep.
suspiciously like Vince with the hat on. A Krillin with a nose. A Tien Krillin. There are 3 more. I'm not quite sure what.
There's like a Krillin with a pompadour in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then is that supposed to be Krillin with Goku hair?
Maybe a haired up Krillin.
Yeah, maybe it's just a haired up Krillin. And then there's just a horror Krillin in the middle.
Like some sort of eel man.
Mhm,
I also love the vote for dog president.
Ah, yes.
Poster.
I'm glad we got to that.
What a great, yeah. You gotta, Krillin, you got a raw dog.
Who's
Man.
the Spider-Man 2099 of the Krillin verse?
I don't know. That red ribbon Krillin looks mighty serious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's got to
but-
be him.
But a Namekian Krillin might be more like, do what you got to do for the greater good.
Yeah, Namekian Krillin is more like Spider-Punk in that way.
Anti-authoritarian.
Exactly.
But Milo, thank you so much. They also give a little more backstory to the fan art we got last time, which I will again put up on the screen. We tried to surmise that it was a Bulbasaur.
Mhm.
And Milo confirms, yes, it is a Bulbasaur. The little purple bits in the hair are there because it's a rough sketch I drew up in the Notes app on my phone. And that's as best as I could. And that's as best as I could to shade it. No worries. The message was received.
We just wanted
They
to make
fin-
sure.
Yeah. They then finish up by saying, I can listen to 50 plus hours of podcasts in a week because I'm an archaeologist. And that's easily a 60 to 80 hour work week, particularly if it takes forever to drive out of the middle of nowhere where the archaeology is. Keep fighting, Milo. An archaeologist? What?
Wow.
You're too smart for this show. What are you
Yeah, you're
doing?
way too smart for this show.
This
Don't
is
you
for
have like
dum dums.
Don't you have like an ammonite to discover or something?
How are you listening and running from giant boulders? Is my question.
Yeah, I can't imagine they have the time to listen to a podcast if they're shouting, "This belongs in a museum!" over and over again.
Can you get our podcast in a museum, please? Do you have connects? I think we're relevant to the art world.
Yeah, this is art. Like, yeah, fine. We're in the Library of Congress, like everything else, but we need to be out there with the people, the real people.
Look, and as I called our listeners dum-dums, of course, that's a term of endearment. As a fellow dum-dum,
Yeah,
I know what this show is.
You big dum-dum.
Yeah, you dumb idiot.
and being the dumb idiots that we are, we got a 23 skidoo. We got to get out of here.
Yeah. Thank you, Nick and Milo, for the wonderful research and art. If you would like to send something our way, be it some KHP research, a 1-minute roundup, fan art, fan darts, you just chuck darts at us.
Yeah, if you've got our faces on dartboards, let us know.
You hit my eye, that's 100 points. You can send all those things in to kamehousepartypod@gmail.com. You can follow us over on Twitter and Instagram, not Threads.
And we're not on Threads.
I'm not going to say never Threads because who knows, but
just give us some time to wrap our heads around it. We're old.
I don't know what it is.
I'm going to shake my fist at Threads until somebody says it's useful to me.
I assume Threads is satanic somehow and corrupting our youth. If like the youth, you love watching people play video games, you can come on over to twitch.tv/Kame House Party, where we're streaming every Wednesday a variety of games and having a variety of fun. I think this week Saturdays are back, correct?
Yep. Saturdays are coming back this week. Spoiler alert. Might be dragging y'all back into Final Fantasy 16 realm because I can't stop getting S ranks in the arcade mode, baby.
You got to show off.
I know. I got more icon powers. It's a wonderful game. It really is. It's very nice and fun.
We are also on Patreon. If you would like to support the show financially, you don't gotta, but you can. A donation, a subscription of $3 or more gets you a one-time shout out on the podcast. All the tiers will get you access to our back catalog of about 1.5 years of bonus content. So if you need more of us, that is a place to get it. And we can't go without mentioning we're part of the Moonshot Podcast Network. We are very lucky to be a part of the network. A lot of great folks on there, a lot of great podcasts, After School Anime Club, the Podcast Minds, All My Fantasy Children, wonderful shows, wonderful people. If you like us, you will like them. Just go on Moonshot Podcast Network. What's the URL? Moonshot Podcast Network. You'll find it.
Yeah, Google Moonshot Pod. Google Moonshot Pods, and you'll get to where you need to go.
I feel like giving out URLs are the equivalent of trying to give someone directions in our modern day.
Yep.
It's like just give me the address. I'm just like, here's what the thing's called. You can find it. You've got the skills.
You got Google on your phone. You got this. Just like I got this as we lead ourselves out with our classic outro. Whether you are deciding what timeline you're picking your powers from, or you're one of the million Krillins acting like a dum-dum, you gotta keep fighting. So there I was, just a pupa in
Computer's woo. Computer said, a sprinkle of this, a sprinkle of that. Your skin will be green and spotted black. With powers from Vegeta, Goku, and more. The future does not know what you have in store.